Welcome to the Bison Coaches Corner. I'm Jeremy Jorgenson. We're here to talk Bison women's basketball today, and head coach Carolyn DeHoff joins us. A couple of big road games for the Bison. They get the road split. That's fantastic. We're going to talk about both those games shortly here. First, Coach, Omaha on Thursday. They're a tough team. They're tough at home, and it's tough to win on the road, and this was a game that really played out that way, wasn't it?
It really did, and we just didn't shoot the ball very well. Shot it fairly decent in the first half, but came out in the second half and had a ton of looks and shot under 25%, and certainly that's not going to get it done on the road. And even one other thing is it was uncharacteristic of us to turn the ball over 19 times, but you give credit to Nebraska Omaha forcing us into those turnovers, which they capitalized, and when we cut it to 3 in the second half, again, we turned it over, they capitalized, and we couldn't recover.
Hey, so you took a tough loss there. Meanwhile, on Thursday night, South Dakota State was playing Western Illinois. It was a barn burner. So you come off a tough loss. Western comes off a game like that, and you beat Western Illinois. Congratulations on that victory. And that's a big deal for this team to get that win, isn't it?
You're exactly right. It is a big deal because, again, every game, every practice, every halftime, after every game, we continue to tell our kids to keep showing up, keep giving the energy, keep doing the things. You're doing things right. Here's the things we need to work on, the correctables, or those controllables. And we did that against Western because there were a number of fouls called, a number of things that, went our way, didn't go our way, and our kids just continued to move forward. And we had, I think 4 kids in double figures. We shared the ball, and it took all 12 of us against Western to win against a very good team on the road.
And your message starts to resonate a little bit too, doesn't it, when it ends in a win like that? You keep saying we're doing great things, but finally the kids get that victory, and it's easier to learn from a win than a loss, isn't it?
You're exactly right, Jeremy, because it's all of, it is result driven. As much as you try to, keep the focus off of that and try to find the successes within the game, which is what we consistently have done with our players, again, in practice and in games. It certainly helps them to say, yes, we are doing things right, and here is the result. They got the outcome for doing that, and we need to continue to build on that.
Well, congratulations again on that. Now, Marina Whittle's been so good all year. She can rebound the basketball, tenacious rebounder. She can score it as well. She's a long ways from home. It's a fantastic story, and we have it for you here on this week's Coach's Corner.
Beckton keeps her dribble line to the wing. Goes back to the corner, caught by Whittle. She's going to launch.
As just a sophomore, Marina Whittle leads the Bison in rebounding and is the second highest scorer on the team, making her a key piece to the Bison women's basketball team.
Our best athlete on the floor. The biggest thing that she brings for us is her ability to rebound, and they're big rebounds. I mean, they're noticeable.
It's not just the fact that Whittle averages 6.8 rebounds a game, it's how she does it that impresses her teammates.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't even know how she gets those offensive rebounds. She just comes out of nowhere and grabs them.
Whittle is all business on the court, but off the court, she's anything but.
Oh, she's so funny. She's kind of immature at times, but it's just what makes her unique.
She's got a lot of spunk. She does a lot of dancing sometimes. So, a kid like that just is kind of fun-loving. So she's fun to coach that way.
And when I asked Brooke to describe her in 3 words?
Weird, funny, always laughing. I get laughing.
Whittle, from Vermont, South Victoria in Australia, admits that being her fun self all the time and playing away from home isn't so easy.
It's tough. It's really tough. Normally I'm used to having mom in the crowd cheering me on and stuff, so it's been hard to get used to playing out of my comfort zone and not playing around people around my family, pretty much, my friends.
However, her mom plans to travel to Sioux Falls this March to watch Marina and the Bison play in person for the first time at the Summit League tournament, and Marina is already giddy with excitement.
It's going to be absolutely incredible because I don't think they've actually seen our girls play. I think they've watched a few videos when they can, but up close and personal, it's going to be awesome.
Reporting for Bison Coach's Corner, I'm Morgan Lubin.
Well, Coach, how did Marina end up at NDSU? She's a long ways from home, as they mentioned.
She is, and you know, when I was hiring here a couple of years ago for an assistant position, and fortunately Tom was interested, and he had just returned actually from Australia. He had been over there the last couple of years in April, and obviously we were still searching to sign somebody, and when we hired him, he obviously had a list of names, and certainly Marina was one of those, and we were lucky to get her about middle of July, by the time it was all said and done.
Talk about how she's grown as a player. Obviously, some of the skills, basketball skills of international players are different than American players. How has she adapted? How has she gotten better by playing the American game here?
You know, she just does what she does. And like you talked about in terms of her tenacious rebounding, in terms of her ability to run, in terms of her ability to shoot the three, pull-up jumper with her back to the basket. She's just growing that part of her game, those parts of her games where she's getting better at them in bigger stretches, and certainly has really started to come around here. I think IPFW really showed that, had a big weekend for us against Western Illinois, seeing it in practice, and so just looking for the kid to just continue to blossom here her sophomore year.
Has it helped to have a fellow Aussie, Bree Watman, over here now on the roster?
It certainly has, because she's certainly been able to mentor Bree, where, you know, Marina didn't have anybody, you know, that was that far away. So certainly our kids did their best to understand, but clearly couldn't understand the distance that Marina was from home, that really had 9 months before she could ever go home, and what does that really feel like? And so she's been able to provide that a lot for Bree, so I think it's been a comfort for Bree. And certainly, you know, there's things that cultures have, you know, that they understand about one another, and those two certainly understand.
Well, here we go again, Coach. South Dakota State is up on the schedule, and they've won the league every year down in Sioux Falls. They're good again. They're undefeated in the league so far, but certainly not unbeatable are the Jackrabbits.
No, and you know, no team any given night in conference play, and certainly, you know, I had the conversation with JD before and after the game at Western, the head coach there, and just talked about really the parity in this league, and certainly this is one of those years. And so, you know, but again, you know, they're South Dakota State. Again, you know, they know how to win, and certainly showed that at Western, where they had to come back and win that game. And so, you know, we've got to play Bison basketball, and that is, you know, a consistent execute well on both ends of the floor against a very talented Jackrabbits team on Saturday.
Well, they've beat Georgetown, Penn State, and Green Bay, so they're very good again. But how is this particular Jackrabbit team different from years past?
Well, you know, I don't think it's different. They just have different players, but they do the same. You know, they do the same things. They build momentum off of transition and hitting threes. They crash the boards extremely well. They can play inside and out. You know, players that start, players that come off the bench, all have to be defended. And so, you know, for us, it's 5-on-5. You know, there isn't anybody on that floor that can't play for them and do things. And so, you know, we just have to again. Play well defensively, keep them off the glass, don't let them get those big momentum runs in transition, and then execute offensively and get some balls to drop.
Oh, good luck to you, Coach. It's the Catherine Burgum Classic at the BSA, 2 o'clock on Saturday, statewide television on the Me TV network, and also radio coverage on 740 The Fan with Jack Michaels. We'll have it all for you. We'll recap it here next week on the Coach's Corner. Have a great week, everyone.